Hello there, I'm DrLupo, and this is a 1963 Ford Falcon Futura. The car that you see me driving has the Sprint package, which means it has a 260 V8 engine, which off the lot gave you a massive 164 horsepower. This car has all the features you'd ever want in an early 60s car. It has powered convertible top, chrome accented interior, windshield wipers. It even has backup indicator lights in that time when they weren't legally required to have them. The best part about this car, though, is that it's going to be auctioned off for charity, and all the proceeds from that sale are all going directly to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
We met earlier yesterday, but Benjamin Lupo, people call me Dr. Lupo, and I've raised some money for St. Jude for a while now, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Inside this 1963?
1963, yep.
Ford Falcon. I'm not alone. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Brian Caldwell. I'm the Vice President of Operations with CARS, or Charitable Adult Rides and Services, which is kind of a mouthful. I've been with them for, about 22 years, right about there now. And so we've been partnering with St. Jude. It's really been a thing of beauty since late 2016. I think we brought close to $14 million in the door to St. Jude through the vehicle donation program. And I can't tell you it's been such a privilege and an honor to work with an organization like St. Jude. So, but this is kind of what we do. This is car donations. This happens to be one of the really cool kind of cars. So this is a very limited kind of edition of the Ford Falcon. There's only about 4,600 convertibles made, and even less made with the little 260 V8 it has in it. So this, back in the day, was the quintessential cruiser. And by the way, this is the precursor to the Mustang.
Oh, wait, really?
It came out 64 and a half. So this was actually the precursor. Ford said, hey, let's get something a little sportier out on the road. This hatched the Mustang. So, but we're going down PCH, or Pacific Coast Highway in Carlsbad here. It's a beautiful drive, just perfect for a car like this.
Now, where do cars like this come from for you guys?
Well, these kind of cars, any kind of cars, come from a lot of different people. And that's why the beauty of car donations is so neat, because a lot of times somebody may donate to us a car that it just doesn't run, or they can't afford to get it fixed. Well, the reality is a lot of times we can turn that car into more money to benefit St. Jude than the person may have the ability or willingness to send them money. So it really works out well in that respect.
I think it's important to, because like you said, this is the way that you guys contribute to St. Jude, and that it's such a separate avenue. It's such a for me, like a non-endemic thing, because I play video games every single day, and that's the way that I raise money for St. Jude. But it's awesome to see people from so many different walks of life. I'm gonna be like, if it were not for the St. Jude thing, you and I probably would not have met, because you're local to San Diego.
Right.
I'm from Nebraska, and so it's just a very different. It's like a different experience, a different group of people, but all contributing to one cause like St. Jude is super, super cool, in my opinion.
It is, and I think one of the funniest things that people, when they ask me, what do I do? And I tell them about car donations, I go, you mean people actually give you cars? I go, yeah. And they go, what kind of car? I go, well, everything and anything in between. It's really a neat way for people to be able to contribute, like to St. Jude, for instance, in a way that they may not have been able to before. So, and they feel a connection to St. Jude that way. And it really makes them feel like they're part of the family, instead of just watching a commercial or giving, upping their bill at Domino's another $1 or something like that. They feel like they've really made a significant...
It's not only just like a monetary thing, because people, obviously this goes to auction, people bid on it, and that money goes to St. Jude. But the fact that they're giving a piece of history as well is so much more than, like you said, the $1 at the cash register or whatever. Those count, those matter, and they do go a long way. But something like this is so different than anything I would have imagined you would see as like a donation for St. Jude. It's just so cool being in a piece of history. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to drive something like that.
Yeah.
So that's got to blow my mind.
Well, again, this kind of takes you back to the day when you really had to pay attention to kind of driving and everything. And it does make you appreciate how far cars have come today with technology and safety and things like that. But these are really neat. They give you the feel of driving and everything. And I think one of the best things for a lot of the donors that donate these, when I talk to them about what we're going to do, they know their car is going to live on and somebody will love that car the way they loved it. And that's really the most important thing, I think, for especially the people with a car like this. They want somebody else to be able to enjoy it the way they have. And so it really makes them feel good.
I am not only joined by Brian today. This is Carlos. You want to introduce yourself? Tell people what we're doing here today.
Well, I'm Carlos Rodriguez. I am a former patient of St. Jude. I actually celebrated 25 years of being cancer-free.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just out here with you and St. Jude and trying to raise money for kids like myself and just live life, man. That's the most important thing, is making the best of it. Yeah. The second chance that we've gotten, just the opportunity and time with family, I think is the most important thing. I think that was the most important thing throughout my whole treatment at St. Jude was family, and how ultimately the nurses and the doctors became family.
And I know you're a car guy.
Yeah.
This car is super cool. It's a 63 Ford Falcon. It's donated to the company as an auction. So they get these classic cars in that are, people don't want to drive them. They can't use them anymore. They don't want to sell them, but they want to raise money for a good cause like St. Jude. So they give them to this company, and then they auction them off for they raise money for St. Jude. It's so sick. But I've never been in, let alone driven, a car that's this old before. What do you think of the Falcon? And you're not going to hurt anybody's feelings, man. I know it's like, it's different than your daily driver by a long shot, right?
I feel like it's one of those things I wasn't prepared to drive this.
It's an experience, dude.
Because it doesn't have, power steering and ABS brakes.
Meanwhile, I'm in here cranking away at the wheel to go around a roundabout.
This is what we used to have, and look what we have now.
It's
so it
wild,
speaks
right?
to, a lot to how far we've come along in a lot of aspects of life. But I would say it looked like you're having an enjoyable time driving.
Dude, it's so different than anything I've driven in the last 20 years since I friggin' learned that this is nuts. It's a really nice car. Seeing stuff like this, is it strange to you to see so many different walks of life contribute to a cause like St. Jude? Because we're talking about automotive mechanics and stuff like that, people that work on vehicles, versus I'm a gamer. So it's like video games, cars. I know that there's like makeup groups that raise money for St. Jude. You've got actors, actresses, athletes, all sorts of people. Is that strange to you, especially as like a patient?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's strange. I for more than anything, I would say it's special. It speaks a lot to me as a former patient, as to how great the cause is and how far a reach it has, and how beautiful the message is that St. Jude is relaying. It ties like a sense of maybe what you could do, once you beat cancer.
Now, how old were you when you were first admitted, and then how old were you when they gave you the all clear and you were good to go?
So I was 4.5 when I came to St. Jude back in 1996. I was 4.5, and I was there for 2.5 years. And I actually came from El Salvador, out of all places. That's where my home country is. That's where my family's from. And that's where I was originally diagnosed. And we didn't really know much about the States, because I was raised there, so we hadn't been in the States. My mom had, but I hadn't. And they just told us, we're gonna send you to Memphis, where the home of Elvis and the blues, and we're gonna get you better.
I always ask this question every time, and I've asked it for every patient parent, because it's important, I think, for people to understand. So like, this car raises money for St. Jude. That money gets contributed, obviously, and goes directly to them. And with some of that, there's things like your housing, your food, all the medicine that you have to take, all the treatment procedures, all that stuff. Did you ever have to pay a dime? Your family have to pay anything for any of that?
No, not at all.
Dude, it's incredible. It's incredible. And you're not the first person to say that about St. Jude. I know you won't be the last. I've heard it so many times that the experience of the hospital is unlike, you would expect from like an oncology ward at a traditional hospital to be not necessarily the most hopeful, but the attitude of the people that work there, the patients, their families, is just so overwhelmingly positive, right? That it almost doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
It's wild. think it not a lot of people have an opportunity like I do to put like a face on what we do, and being able to like be face to face with you and interact. And I mean, I taught you how to play Magic last night.
Yeah.
And you almost beat me. I think that goes such a long way for establishing that kind of connection. And you taking time to record a video like this, I can only say so much about what St. Jude does. I can only, bandstand for the hospital for so long before it kind of loses the impact. But hearing it directly from someone that was there, had family there, had that experience, you went through it, right? And you came out on the other side. And so your experience is so much more meaningful than me going through the hospital and seeing it myself. For the people that are watching, that I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to like, hey, Loop, here's what it was like. Here's what my family went through. And it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
But look at you now.
I'm a testament of what St. Jude can do and what St. Jude is doing and continuing to do all over the world, man. I couldn't have imagined of a place on earth that would be so warm-hearted and open to bringing someone they don't even know to come to a city and get treatment for something so, dangerous as cancer.
Crazy thing, they don't even bat an eye at that either. They're like, yeah, we got you.
They're like, bring them.
Yeah, they got you covered, which is huge. It's incredible.
Definitely.